Hi, I'm Shiona, and I'm going to talk to you today about part 3 questions on the IELTS test. So we're going to talk about words we can use to show comparisons, and many questions may ask you to make a comparison between two things. For example, let's try the first one. Have the types of transport people use changed much over the last few decades? So I can answer like this. I can think about, past 20 years or 30 years. I can go back over a few decades. I can even be specific here. I could talk about like the 1970s. And I can think about what is the situation now. I might want to think of some examples that I could give, that I can use my vocabulary to make that answer a little bit better. So those are a couple things I need to think about. How do I show comparison? And how do I include vocabulary also when I'm trying to compare or contrast, where I'm showing the similarities and the differences between these two time periods? Okay, so let me show you how you can do it. Okay. Transportation has changed a lot over the past 30 years or so. For example, in the 1970s, people used very large vehicles that consumed a lot of gasoline, whereas now people use smaller vehicles that are more fuel efficient, and they are better for the environment. Okay, so here I gave a nice comparison and contrast. I thought about something that I could talk about that was familiar to me, and I talked about how those were related. Maybe there wasn't a relation as in they are the same, but related as in they are different. And so I focused on a time period. I thought of something that I have observed, and I talked a little bit about that. Let's try it in a different way. Okay? Transportation has changed a lot over the years. People now own more vehicles than they did in the past. In the past, people couldn't afford vehicles because of the cost, whereas now people find vehicles more affordable than they ever did before. Okay, so in this example, I use some comparative adjectives. More affordable are automatically words that I want to use when I show comparison and contrast, and that makes my answer better. Okay, let's try another question type here. Do you think transport is likely to continue to improve in the future? Well, this question type wants me to talk about something that hasn't happened yet. So here I can use the modal verbs, and I always encourage students to use modal verbs because you don't have to worry about tenses so much. Okay, so words like might or could, are words that I might use when I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I think over the next few years, transportation might improve drastically because of the problem related to pollution. As we have more vehicles now than we ever had before, people need to take certain measures to improve the output, that is, the chemicals that are put into the air from these vehicles. Okay, so here I'm just using this modal verb. I could also answer it in a different way. I could use some comparison. Over the next 20 years, vehicles and transportation systems will have to improve in order to make this environment better than it was before. People might focus more on making their vehicles more environmentally friendly. Okay, so here I'm thinking about what kind of vocabulary words I'm using. Trying to put things in my own words. I'm trying to paraphrase. I'm trying to use complex structures and sentences Because I probably want something around a 6.5 or a 7. I might even make a few mistakes once in a while, or I might think about what I'm going to say, but I'm speaking continuously without stopping. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching today. Thanks for practicing the part 3. For any further questions, do contact me on Cambly. I am always there, available. See you in class. Have a great day.